What's up? My name is John, and this is Cinema Saturday. Today I have a review for Den of Thieves 2, Pantera, which stars Gerard, Butler, and Shea Jr. as they return to do another heist, but this time it's in Europe for the World Diamond Center in France. So we're globetrotting now. So of course, as you know, it's a heist movie. They try to rob the diamonds, and of course things don't go as planned and hijinks ensue. So of course this one is a sequel to the first Den of Thieves movie, which I just recently watched this past week on Max, and it was actually pretty good. It had high octane, big stakes, family stakes, and I really enjoyed that one. I enjoyed it a lot more than I expected to. And this movie pretty much follows the same path, except this time we're in Europe. However, I will say this movie is a little bit more lighthearted in a way. I think there are more comedic moments, or just more moments where it was less of a drama and more of a romance movie. Because I feel like this is almost a bromance movie. We're just missing the road trip part, right? So I really enjoyed that aspect of the movie. I'm glad they were able to do something different this time around from the first movie. Gerard Butler and Shea Jr. both do very good jobs in this film, delivering performances on par with the first movie, with some different nuances since they're in a different setting. But while they're in a different setting, this movie does still have a slow burn like the first movie. However, I will argue that's kind of a part of the Den of Thieves formula, right? So the formula kind of goes, we see a heist at the beginning of the movie. There's the heist there, a little small one. And then we meet the characters, we see what they're up to, what they've been up to, what's going on in their lives. We figure out what we're going to rob. We plan the robbery. We do the heist. Things don't go as they are supposed to, and then we see the outcome of whatever happens. So it's very much like the first one with the slow burn, but I think the slow burn is very much intentional. I think we need that slow burn to build up our new set of stakes and what's on the line. I think this movie uses a slow burn to tell you the different aspects of the heist they're going to have to go through. And I think that puts stakes during the heist because, this part of the heist is supposed to go a certain way. They're supposed to do a certain thing. But are they going to be able to do it? I don't know. Your anxiety creeps up. You get a little nervous. You're like, oh gosh, guys, are you gonna make it in time? Are you gonna do the thing that you planned on doing? Is it gonna work out like you planned? Or are you gonna have to resort to plan B, resort to plan C? Or maybe even in this case, we're all on plan Elemental P, guys. There is still action in this movie, but it's kind of less so. Or maybe it's just a different type of action. I was more nervous about going through the heist and things like that rather than, a very high octane experience. I feel like this one is a little bit less octane, more low octane, more very particular in what you're trying to do. More of a low octane experience overall with a dash of high octane sprinkled in there every now and then. We're trying to get away, or like I said, of course, things don't go as planned, but where? I'm not going to tell you. Like I said, it's a slow burn, so the action doesn't really kick in until the second half of the movie, but it's still a good movie overall. I think I had fun with the movie from beginning to end. I never got bored. I think there might have been times where there was some heavy exposition dialogue to explain how the World Diamond Center security works and what they got to do to plan to get around those obstacles. But I think it was still good. And then the ending of this movie, I think, is satisfying as well. I was worried because we had pretty much finished everything, and we were in the last 15 minutes of the movie, and I'm like, oh, what's gonna happen. But I will say that I felt that we had a good ending to this movie, and it even left on a cliffhanger. So honestly, I'm excited about Den of Thieves 3 because I think, we're globetrotting now. We started in California, then we went to France. So now I'm thinking, let's go to Asia. All right, that's how you change the scenery. That's how you change what everything looks like. We're gonna go rob someplace in Asia. I'm thinking China. Let's go rob somewhere in China, guys, and let's do this Den of Thieves thing one last time. And of course, maybe that would be like something they do. Try to pull out. We're gonna do one last run, one last robbery, and then we're done. Then we're out. We'll see. This is for sure a dude bro movie. You and your dad or your bros and go see this movie together, and I think you all have a good time. I'm kind of surprised, this didn't come out around Father's Day. I think critically or even financially, it would have done much better at the box office if that came around a male-centric holiday. But I don't think that's needed. I think it's good enough. I think it just would have helped the movie with this promotion. But yeah, take your dads to this movie. I think you guys have a great time. It's a good way to bond. It is a 2-hour, 20-minute movie, so you'll be sitting there for a while, but it's full of substance. Very little filler. So I think you'll have a good time. So overall, it's a good movie. Maybe not as good as the first, or maybe some people might not like it as well as the first one because of the more low-octane heist instead of the high-octane heist you got in the first one where they were robbing a bank and there was a shootout and there was hostages and it was very crazy. But this time, I think it's still good. I think they pull it off well. They still use the same formula. So if you like the first one, I think you'll probably like this one too. Because all the goodies from the first one are still in this movie. I think it's just presented in a different way. Again, I'm hoping for that third movie because I think, that's just the most logical place to go. We go to China, or we could go to Africa too. That would be something. Den of Thieves, maybe like a den of wolves or a den of lions. We take it to Africa. I think all these movies go to Asia, but let's go to Africa. That would be cool too. So I'm excited for whatever the Den of Thieves franchise does next. And I can see spin-offs, things like that, where we're just doing different heists in different places. And that would be really cool. So I really enjoyed my time with this movie. And overall, I give it a 7 out of 10. So those are my thoughts on Den of Thieves 2, Pantera, in theaters right now. My name is John. Thank you for watching Cinema Saturday. And as always, have a good one.